Yellowstone National Park, a 2,219,789 acre national park found in Wyoming but extends also into Montana and Idaho. Established on March 1st, 1872, it is known to be the first national park ever. The park is located on the Yellowstone caldera, the largest supervolcano on the continent. The caldera is considered to be an active volcano. The park therefore holds half of the world's geothermal features, including mud pots, secreting toxins, steam vents, geysers, hot pools, and more. The park is made up of grasslands, forests, canyons, lakes, rivers, and mountain ranges. In Yellowstone National Park, forests make up around 80% of the land. Water cover roughly 5%, and grasslands make up the rest. The park is part of the Greater Yellowstone ecosystem, the largest nearly intact ecosystem in the northern temperate zone. Some of the interesting physical features of Yellowstone National Park include Yellowstone Lake, which is approximately 87,040 acres and is the largest high-altitude lake in North America. The park also holds many rivers, including the Snake River, the Gallatin River, the Madison River, the Lewis River, and its biggest river, the Yellowstone River. Due to the size of Yellowstone National Park, weather can vary throughout the park at any given time. The average maximum temperature for the year is 52.8 degrees Fahrenheit. The hottest months are July, with an average max temperature of 79.6 Fahrenheit, and August, with an average max temperature of 78.3 degrees Fahrenheit. The average minimum temperature for the year is 27.6 degrees Fahrenheit, with the coldest months being January, with an average minimum temperature of 9.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and December, with an average minimum temperature of 11.8. The annual precipitation is around 15 inches, with the rainiest month being May. The annual total of snowfall is around 150 inches, with most coming in December and January. In the summer, it is relatively sunny and hot, being anywhere from 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. However, the nights are cold and can drop to between 20 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. An interesting thing about summer in Yellowstone National Park is that afternoon thunderstorms are common along with lightning storms. Temperatures during winter for the daytime hover around 0 degrees Fahrenheit, but occasionally can be as warm as 40 degrees Fahrenheit due to warm Chinook winds. During the night, temperatures are often sub-zero, and the lowest temperature ever recorded in Yellowstone National Park is negative 66 degrees Fahrenheit. There also is a lot of snow, with the annual amount being 150 inches, beginning in early autumn and ending in April or May. In Yellowstone National Park, there are many different kinds of animals and plants. Here we have the bighorn sheep, bison, grizzly bears, a lot of elk, coyotes, pronghorn antelope, mule deer, gray wolves, Yellowstone sulfur buckwheat, Yellowstone sand verbena, lodgepole pines, and Ross's bentgrass. The winters in Yellowstone National Park are very cruel and harsh. The animals have all adapted in some way or another to be able to survive the winter. One way that they survive is by migration. The animals who migrate are birds, elk, and bison. A bird in the Yellowstone National Park that does this is the American white pelican. The American white pelican spends its winters in Mexico. However, not only do birds migrate, but elk and bison do as well. The elk and bison migrate to lower elevation within the park, such as valleys or canyons. Not all of the elk and bison migrate long distances to find lower elevation areas. Some members of the species migrate locally to the geyser basins and take advantage of the heat and open ground. Another way that the bison and elk have adapted to withstand winter in the Yellowstone National Park is to grow a thick fur coat during the winter and to have their fur coat molt during the spring. Animals like the snowshoe hare find a different way to survive the winters, turning white in winter and darker in spring. Yellowstone is an ecosystem adapted to wildfires. Many of its plants have adapted to survive fires, such as having roots that live even if the top of the plant is burnt. The lodgepole pine needs fire to burn off the resin that keeps their pine cones closed until fire opens up new spaces in which the pine seedlings can grow. A threat that threatens the Yellowstone National Park, like any other place with abundant wildlife, is hunting. Yellowstone National Park was first established to preserve the geysers and hot springs, not necessarily to protect the wildlife. For the larger animals that live in Yellowstone National Park, such as wolves, elk, and grizzly bear, the boundaries are not clear. Many of these species require wide ranges or migration corridors to get to their breeding sites or feeding sites. In result, the wildlife migrate outside of the park boundaries into unprotected areas. The area surrounding Yellowstone is a frequent site of conflict between people and wildlife. Many people, especially hunters, know about this problem and wait outside of the boundaries patiently. The Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Commission said that they are unlikely to reinstate wolf hunting and trapping closures near Yellowstone National Park. The closures were initially instated following the killing of several wolves that spent much of their time inside the park. Though killed legally by hunters outside the park, at least 5 of the wolves wore tracking collars that allowed researchers to monitor their behavior. The closures were challenged by anti-wolf groups who believe hunters and trappers should be allowed to continue killing wolves just outside of Yellowstone. Unfortunately, the statewide wolf hunting and trapping season in 2013 closed on February 28th as originally planned, without any protection for the wolves just outside of Yellowstone National Park. A keystone animal of the Yellowstone National Park, which is also endangered, is the gray wolf. The gray wolves preyed on bison, deer, elk, and moose, which were also the prey of human settlers. The wolves soon became enemies of the settlers, competing for food and killing livestock of the farmers. Began killing off the wolf population. Bounty programs that continued until 1965 offered money for people who would kill the wolves. Wolves were trapped, shot, dug from their dens, hunted with dogs, and poisoned. With the wolves gone, elk populations exploded, leading to the overgrazing of plants such as aspen and willow. After the wolves' eradication, the scientists could only find old trees, ones that had matured before the wolves were eradicated. Along with the trees, other plant species were disappearing, causing the loss of habitat for many other animals, but also influencing other ecological factors, including stream bank stability, the deposition of organic matter, and fine sediment in riparian zones, water temperature regulation via shading, and nutrient cycling. The removal of wolves thus led to the instability of riparian and other environmentally sensitive areas. The gray wolves are endangered for being hunted in Yellowstone National Park. The government was under pressure from cattle and livestock industries to try and eradicate the gray wolves. Around 1,800 wolves were killed. Along with the gray wolf, the grizzly bear is another endangered species in the Yellowstone National Park. Its reason for being endangered is hunting and loss of habitat. Grizzly bears are hunted for their fur, paws, gallbladders, and because they are seen as dangerous.